Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Radio Geonosis, where we talk about Star Wars from a certain point of view. I am Angie.
I'm Aaron. What's going on, guys?
And today we are going to be talking about top 10 favorite toys.
Yes.
My favorite toys, Aaron's favorite toys, and then I also have a list of 50 of the 50 of the most popular toys.
Oh,
I made
really?
a list. Yeah, I made a list. But before we do that, we're going to do some hot happenings of this week.
Hot happenings.
Yeah. So the first one is a show that's going to be on, I believe it's going to be on Disney.
Yes.
And it's called Resistance. And it surfaced at the French Disney presentation. And it was a first look at all the artwork style and new characters.
I saw the characters, and they look great.
Awesome.
They look good.
Is it going to be like Rebels?
Yeah, that's what the character design is. Kind of stems from Rebels. That same kind of art. So I'm guessing they're bringing a lot of people back from the Rebels.
Yes.
Show that
tie it all in together.
As far as the animators go, and I like that style. I like the Rebel style of animation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be surfaced around like pilots.
Wow.
So we kind of get to see the pilots in the trenches and what they all have to go through in their day-to-day instead of just seeing what a Jedi goes through, which we all love, but still.
Yeah, we got to see another side of things.
Yes. It looks good though. It really looks good, and people responded well to it from what I saw. So
yeah, I think it'll be really good. I mean, from what I could see, they were posting, it looked great.
It does.
We
really
also
does.
have the Star Wars, the Clone Wars 10th anniversary panel is coming to SDCC July 20th. So I'm hoping to be able to sit in and watch that panel. So I'm excited.
Do you get to ask questions at that panel?
They let people ask. They let certain people ask.
Do you have a question in particular that you would?
No, I don't think that I would, because I don't know.
I think you have one. Andy.
I may come up with something.
I think you might have one question. Maybe. I do. I personally think you have one question to ask.
Now, also, Dave Filoni accepts his Saturn Awards for Rebels show. And that was a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations, Dave.
Yes.
Congratulations.
He earned it. I have a couple of friends that actually went to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually went to the Saturn Awards. So that was really exciting. I would have loved to have done that.
That's dope. That's really dope.
Yeah. Episode 9 is reportedly returning to the classic filming locations where previous Star Wars movies were shot. Yavin 4, something from A New Hope, Rogue One, maybe in hopes of bringing the trilogy all together, all the trilogies all together.
I didn't know that as far as like the set. I didn't know that they're gonna bring back the old. I didn't know that.
J.J. Abrams maybe wanting to tie that all in together.
Maybe J.J. Abrams been reading a lot of tweets and a lot of Facebook posts and a lot of Instagram posts from fans, so that could be possible too.
Kind of trying to mend the broken kind of relationship that Star Wars has with certain fans.
Yeah.
Maybe, something like that. So we'll see,
Yeah. We'll see.
But I really do. I like the fact that, I liked him telling this story because the Force Awakens was a good story. It really was. It introduced you to Rey. It introduced you to Finn. It introduced you to new characters, but also old characters. So you got the feeling of new and old together, and I really like that.
And that's what I like about Star Wars too. Star Wars is so huge that like we talked about on plenty of times in this episode where it transcends time. So my son is gonna grow up watching it too.
Oh,
and there's characters he's not. You know what I mean? So I think that's the beauty of Star Wars too, in a sense, is that like Star Wars came out in the '70s and there are characters I look up to, even though I know they're movie characters, but like your Luke Skywalkers, your Han Solos, and things like that.
Yeah.
It transcends time, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and another thing that I was when I was reading that, by going back to some of those locations, maybe we're going to see how Kylo gets Vader's mask.
Oh wow.
So I think that would be kind of cool, just to be able to. Well, okay, so he has the mask, and we know that the burned one was with Luke. So
that might have been something he just took
right
off
the body.
What was Luke doing with it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe we'll answer some questions. Also, Kerry Russell is going to be added to the cast of Episode 9, and I really like this actress. Some people saying could possibly be Rey's mom. Something like that.
Something else. Okay.
Something,
I could see that.
Yes.
I could definitely see that.
Also joining the cast, Billy D. Williams.
Colt 45 himself.
Yes, nothing like the smooth man that he is. Now, the production for episode 9 is supposed to start later this summer. So I'm really, really excited just to hear that.
Later this summer means like literally a week away.
Yes.
There's really not much summer left.
I know. Kids are getting ready to go back to school.
Yep.
How about this one? While at Disneyland, Natalie Portman took a picture with a stormtrooper. A few weeks ago. Yeah, she was at Disneyland and took a picture with the stormtrooper. So maybe she's feeling a little melancholy and wanting to get back into the Star Wars.
I hope she does.
I do too.
I really do hope she does. She just did a sci-fi movie that was really good. It came out not too long ago. So I hope she immerses herself back into the Star Wars because people love her.
Yes.
We love Natalie Portman.
Yes. I mean, everybody, a lot of times people didn't like the, episode 1, 2, and 3, but the characters are beloved. They really are. Darth Maul, Boba Fett as a child. I've met both those guys. Natalie Portman. I was at Celebration last year, and Hayden Christensen was there, and his tickets for his autograph were sold out.
Oh, really?
Yes. So people really love these characters.
I find that odd. Not odd, but isn't that weird how they love the characters, but the movies.
They didn't like the movies, but they love the characters.
It's because they love the movies.
Yes,
come on, guys. Let's not come on. Let's stop playing. You like them. Come on. You can't not like them. You can't not like the characters. You cannot like the movie but love the characters.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
Now, how about this one? George Lucas strikes back after 5 years of construction on the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. It's finally underway. Now, San Francisco and Chicago, both of those places he wanted it built, but something fell through. Maybe because Los Angeles is where it needs to be.
That's true. I believe so.
I really do too.
I believe so.
Yes, and they said that the structure is going to be a cloud-like kind of structure.
Okay.
And I can get that, Cloud City kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the man who's going to be who's designing it is the Chinese architect Mei Yangsun. I think I said that right.
Yeah, it sounds like you said it right.
Yeah, and it's going to be built by the by the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
Oh, yeah. That perfect place to put it.
It's a perfect place.
Perfect place to put it.
Yes.
Perfect place.
And,
good job, guys.
Let's see now. They broke ground March 14th. And it brought, he has bought an estate worth $33.9 million.
Wow.
To be closer to the museum.
Wow.
It's in Bel Air. I think he can afford it. He got how much for Star Wars?
Yeah.
$4 billion?
Yeah. So that's right up his price range if you ask me.
Something like that. At $33.9 million, that's chump change.
Yeah.
That's chump change for the man.
That's literally nothing to him. But that's a perfect location, though.
Yes, LA.
Perfect location.
I think LA's perfect. Now he's had like a love, from what I was reading, like a love-hate relationship with Los Angeles. Even though he did go to USC's film school, or no, UCLA's film school.
That's where the hate might come from. Something must happen to where he
Yes. I can't remember what film school it is. Please forgive me, everyone. I can't remember.
If you know what film school it is, just let us know.
Yes,
let us know.
exactly.
Let us know.
You can put it down.
That's your way to be a part of the show. Yeah,
exactly. So, he even though he went here, it's always been like a tumultuous kind of relationship. But I think LA's the perfect home for it. I mean, you're going to have fans from all over the world coming to see this, even though a lot of the artwork is like Norman Rockwell kind of thing and different things, but I think we'll see Star Wars there.
Yeah,
I think there'll be a sprinkle of it.
I think LA is just a tourist attraction in itself. So it makes, not saying Chicago isn't or San Francisco isn't, because they are, but there's a certain mystique about Los Angeles and Hollywood and Star Wars being a movie franchise. So I think LA's perfect.
Yes, and being that Star Wars, premiered at Chinese theater. I think it's
exactly,
fitting to be here.
Exactly.
Which I'm cannot wait to see it. And I was just down in LA and I'm like, I don't know why I didn't see that. Maybe because they're still groundbreaking. There's not a lot.
The next time you go to LA, watch what you'll see.
I know. I'm gonna go look.
Yeah. I was just here last week and it's almost done. Like that's how it works out there.
That's how fast it is.
That's how fast it is.
And
exactly.
Speaking of being in LA, last weekend I was at the Anime Expo.
Yay!
And it was a lot of fun. I actually saw a Revan doll there, and I was going to go back. I went back to get it, and it was already gone. And I was really mad at myself that I did not buy this. It was $20, and I thought, okay, I don't have cash on me. I don't know, And so I came back the next day, and it was already gone.
It was already gone.
You snooze, you lose.
Sometimes you got to go with your gut instinct. Your gut tells you to
and
get it.
it was a Black Series. I'm like, dang, man, I really wanted that.
I unfortunately wasn't able to go.
Oh, I know.
Unfortunately,
I know.
but what did you
Duty
see there?
calls.
Yeah, duty call for sure. What was the coolest thing you seen there? What did you enjoy about it the most this go around?
Oh, it was really, really packed.
It was packed, wasn't it?
Yes, and really hot. It was really hot there.
Yeah.
And,
and you were in costume.
No, I just wore like a.
You wore. Yeah, okay.
I just wore my traditional garb that from Japan. I really like it. So
sleeves out, arms out, shoulder guns off. Okay.
Sun's out, guns out. Kind
Yeah.
of thing. But I think one of the fun things that I did was I got to take a picture in the Dragon Ball Z.
That looks so epic to me.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I mean, I can't. Was it Goku or?
Yeah, it was Goku and Vegeta,
Goku,
the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta and Goku.
And it was really cool. A lot of people down below in the lobby area did dress up, and I say kudos to them because it was really hot to have to stand outside and get in. And be standing in that hot costume on a day like that. It was really...
Were there a lot of people in costume, though? Even costume were like, I don't know how they're doing it. It's really hot and humid outside.
On Thursday, not so much.
Okay.
But on Saturday, yes.
People were all out on Saturday.
Yes. A lot of costumes. But like I said, it was really hot. And even inside at some points in the different parts of it, it was extremely
really hot.
warm.
Yeah.
A lot of people with kids. I mean, just a whole lot of everything. And one thing, I'm not a big fan of it, but boy, there was a lot of people in line for it, and that was hentai.
Oh, all right. I have a friend. Shout out to my friend. He's an artist. His name is Psycho Sloth. He mixes rock with hip hop, and he was there, and he was. Shout out to Psycho Sloth, who's like gonna probably listen to this podcast. I'm pretty sure he does, but he was in the hentai. He got a couple.
The hentai booth.
He was in the hentai, the hentai area. But there are people who I mean, that's their niche.
Oh, it is. It was a huge line for every place selling hentai. They had places where it was curtained off, because it's
privacy.
There's kids there, yes. So even though it's an anime cartoonish kind of thing, it's
still X-rated.
It's still double X-rated. So there was a lot of people in those booths. There was a lot of I went to the gaming area and really did not get to walk around in there, which I was kind of bummed because last year when I was there, they had cars in there, they had motorcycles in there, and they were all done up with different characters and things like that. And they do a lot of that plastic wrap, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
It was on the cars. And so I took a lot of pictures last year. This year, I wasn't able to go in there. It was so packed, and it was, like I said, everywhere we went, it was really, really packed. We're going to go again. I already bought my tickets for next year. We're ready. This is my son's big thing. He loves it. This will be our 9th year going.
Okay.
Yeah, and he really, really enjoys, going to the Anime Expo. He's been with me to Comic-Con and a few others, but that is just really his niche.
That's his niche, yeah.
He does have a little bit of hentai.
Anime resides with people. Anime really does reside with people, though.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, you don't, and it, I mean, all walks of life. It was everybody. I mean, and it wasn't just, you go in there, okay, it's, there's going to be a huge group of Japanese folk or, this a bunch of guys, or it was everybody. It was everybody. And I mean, just every walk of life. And there were kids there. There were older people there. A lot of older people there. And just a whole lot of kids. And really having a good time enjoying. On Thursday, I sent you a video. Of going up the stairs, and they were playing the Japanese drums, and it was awesome.
See, and that's what I like about the Anime Expo. They bring the culture too.
Oh yeah, they brought the culture.
They brought it there. Yeah.
It was like they just cut off part of Japan and brought it.
It was one of the toughest pills I've ever had to swallow. and it was the only time I didn't really even look
And
at
he's
any.
so honorable, I'm telling you.
I didn't even really look at
Could
pictures.
have called
like
out.
that.
Could have called
I
out.
could have. I really could have called out. It would have been okay. Shout out to Kevin at Red Robin, who would have gladly took my shift. I think if I would have asked him, but I just didn't want to do it yet. But I'm gonna take full advantage and take my 3 days off later on.
Yes, yes.
For the LA Comic Con for
Yes.
sure. I am gonna take my 3 days. I'm gonna stay in a nice hotel by Santa Monica, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go and enjoy my 3 days.
Yes, and have a good time. I mean, and I think
Yes.
when you stay down there, we drove up and down a few times, and then my son stayed down in Manhattan Beach, so he was like 30 minutes away. Wasn't too bad. But it to stay down there would be better.
It would be, yeah,
Because you could just, if you need to shoot back to the hotel with something. And while I was there on Saturday, now that I'm thinking of this, my friend John came with me, and he ended up getting a sword from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And it's Strider's sword.
Oh, okay.
It was
yeah,
awesome. So he was able to get me a elf sword, which is Legolas's sword.
Yeah, Legolas's sword,
for a really decent price. But I didn't know Legolas has two swords.
He does.
And I'm a big Lord of the Ring fan.
He's
and
a
I'm like,
dual wielder.
how do I not know that?
He
I've
is a
seen him.
dual
Maybe
wielder.
I'm just too in awe of him. The guy's. I have posters at home. I have his doll. I have.
Then that might be it.
His action. Maybe that's why I didn't notice he had two
That
swords.
I'm gonna go with that's maybe why you didn't
He
know
looked
that.
hot, shooting his arrows. I mean, maybe that was it.
He is a dual wielder,
dizzy.
though. Yeah. Obi-Wan's gonna get pretty upset.
I know. I better be quiet.
Yeah.
So I will be next week. I will be at Comic-Con for 4 days. Hopefully, I can do a little bit of a. We're gonna do a show before that, and then I'm gonna try and do some interviews and things down there. I was
That
gonna
would be
try
really
and do
awesome.
it
That'd
at
be awesome.
Anime, but it was absolutely impossible. It was impossible. Just
San Diego, right? Is next.
yeah, San Diego's next week, but last weekend was the Anime Expo, and I really wanted to do interviews there, but it was just impossible. It was hot.
It was
I was
chaotic.
irritated. I was like, give me something to drink. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Just insanely chaotic, and that's the Anime Expo brings Tokyo and Japan with them.
I should have had some
Just
sake.
the-
and
yeah,
just done the-
yeah. You should. Oh, I should have. You should have. You should have had some sake. You would have been perfectly.
yeah,
fine.
it would have been fine,
Yeah.
just having some sake and then a little bit of sushi, and then I would have been perfect.
But I did have friends that go, I'm sorry guys, I didn't open your videos. I just couldn't watch.
Oh man,
I just
that's
let the
such a
videos. I just let them
bummer.
expire. I just couldn't watch. I didn't want to watch. I
I'm
didn't want to
so
watch.
bummed. But you did get to see the drums.
But I did see yours because I'm gonna watch yours. But theirs is coming from a place of like you're not here. Like
Oh my God.
Because that's how they do it. Like when I said I couldn't go, that's like oh well.
Yeah, you just like if out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, exactly. So I'm looking forward to LA's Comic Con and also those interviews at San Diego that you will be.
Yes, that I'm going to be. I've already
conducting,
talked to a
yes.
few people. I have a friend named Brandon who is he's the chef geek photographer. He'll
Oh,
be
wow.
doing pictures for our Star Wars meetup, and he's such an awesome guy. I'll have you friend him on Facebook. He's
Oh
a
yeah,
great guy.
yes, send them my way.
But he is. I told him I want to do an interview with him. He's part of 501st Rebel Legion, and I believe a few other groups. Been around a long time with these groups, and just has taken some awesome pictures. And so I'm pretty excited to do that. Hopefully, I can talk to a few other people, whoever I run into. I do have my son's. He's like my son. I guess that's a good way to put it. He's my son. He writes for Batman.com. And so I want to be able to do an interview with Josh while I'm there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and a few other cosplayers that I'm really good friends with that I'd like to.
All these sound like
sit down
potential guests to me.
Yes. So I'd like to do that. So I will be there next week. So I will try and get that up as quickly as possible. But for today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 favorite toys. So I did a little bit of a monologue here.
Okay, go
for
ahead.
you. So on May 25th, 1977, a little sci-fi space opera was released and written and produced by George Lucas. And he also wanted a toy line to go with that. And George, I see him as a visionary, almost like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said, "Okay, I want to make this Apple computer." So the next thing you know, he's making an Apple phone. The next thing you know, he is doing, he's doing like Apple Music, and
Yeah.
and it's all tying in together. And I see George Lucas doing that in the 70s because he did it with books, toys, music, and movies.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
films. So he put all those together. And even when he was making the movie A New Hope, I think there were certain things like the lightsaber, for instance. He had a production man come up with this, but they also came up with certain type of filming camera things that were never invented before.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
So they invented those. So he
Yeah.
was kind of the Steve Jobs of the day. So I thought that was kind of exciting. But, Star Wars, they wanted to do a toy line. And so they had gone to the big companies like Mattel and I think they went to, as a matter of fact, I think they went to Hasbro as well.
Wow.
Yeah. They went to all these different companies and everybody turned it down.
I think.
And I think
kicking their butts
because,
right now.
yeah, I think they just did not see what he saw.
And that's usually what happens. Some people just don't see what you see.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They don't understand.
They can't. They're like, I can't get behind this. I just can't get
Yeah,
behind this.
before the shop opened, that's what we got. They just didn't understand what it was, and
Yeah.
someone gave us an opportunity. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and then next thing you know, you have everybody, hey, man, I'm here.
yeah,
But a little toy company in Cincinnati decided they were going to take a jump into it. And at the time, the only thing that they were doing that was hitting it big was the Easy Bake Oven.
Oh wow.
Did you know that? The Easy Bake Oven. So Kenner decided, you know what, we're going to do this. And you know what? They hit the jackpot and
Yes.
they were on the map. They as far as toys go, they were after Star Wars. I think they couldn't top that.
Yeah.
And at the time, 12-inch dolls and action figures were the dolls of the day, which was Barbie and G.I. Joe. They
Yeah.
reigned supreme.
Yeah.
Kenner was given 6 months to get these toys released because they didn't have much time, because maybe Lucasfilms was going around to all these different places trying to get these toy companies to make this. And so by the time Kenner said, okay, we'll do it, they only had 6 months before the movie came out.
Yeah.
So that doesn't give them much time to have to build all these toys. And so they were trying to figure out the easiest way to do things. And then the head of Kenner, he decided, okay, we've got to get these out. So what are some of the things that we can do? So they came up with a doll size. So with his index finger and his thumb, he said, okay, we're going to make the toys this big.
Yeah.
And so that's how you came up with the toys that were 3.3 3/4 inches tall. So, and think about that. Now these toys are huge.
Yeah.
Everybody makes toys like that.
That's true.
So they were actually the visionaries of their day.
In
with
the toy
toys,
room. Yes.
with toys.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was kind of cool. So the 4 action figures that were originally released were Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and R2-D2. And I wonder why or how they came up with those ones.
Was that Luke Skywalker, the insanely buff one you showed me?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we have the toy book from Kenner,
Yeah.
and it's giving you all of the toys from the very, very beginning. So yeah, Luke Skywalker looks like He-Man,
Yeah, he does.
but he's 3 3/4 inches tall.
Yeah, his chest is popping out of his robe. Right
Yes, and so Kenner was not prepared for the unprecedented response to the film and the high demand for the toys. They could not. I really don't know if they released any toys right after the movie, but I really doubt that. I don't think it was enough time because the movie was still happening in December when Christmas came out. So they didn't have enough toys that year. They didn't have maybe some people were able to get it.
Yeah.
So some kids of very
kids
rich,
missed out.
you know,
Yeah.
where they were able to get the toys first. So what they did was they sold an early bird certificate package, which included a mail-in certificate that you can redeem for 4 of the Star Wars toys, and the box contained a diorama play stand and some stickers. So that was cool. But the other thing that they had on there was a fan club membership card.
Oh wow!
Who wouldn't love to have that?
Oh man, I'll take that right now. And I would lose my mind.
Oh, I would love it too, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it's worth a ton.
Yeah.
So in 1978, the toy line was ready, and the Star Wars toys flew off the shelves. And they just couldn't keep, the demand was just going out the window. And
Yeah.
they said that prior to, because I watched the show, The Toys That Made Me, that made us.
Yeah,
They
it's a really
they
good
were
show.
some of the things that they released prior to Christmas was like gun games and anything that they could convert from like easy bake oven, even a blow up, some sort of blow up thing that you
Yeah.
could sock,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that they
yeah,
turned that
almost-
into
yeah.
Star Wars. Anything they could get out.
Like a sock and bopper.
Yeah, exactly. They were getting all these toys out, but after Christmas, they were putting out as many dolls, as many toys, and even the big Falcon. They were getting out
Yeah.
all of these things. They were bringing them out, and they were just flying off the shelves.
Oh wow.
But sadly, in the mid '80s, the Star Wars fandom was, at an all-time low. Yeah, exactly. And the collectible toys hit a slump as well. So they really weren't selling as well at that point, which I wish I had been purchasing like a bad boy.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they would have been worth a fortune. now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially you see these things in the discount bin and you're thinking, okay, I'll buy that Millennial Falcon, in the discount bin, and then it'd be worth $100,000 afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it has to be mint in box because I've told
Yeah.
Aaron you cannot open this stuff. Must be mint in box.
I didn't know that. until
Yes, in order for it to hold a lot of its value. So right before the prequels came out, they re-released a special edition of the first Star Wars movies, and with that, Kenner started selling the dolls for the prequels.
Those were the movies I saw.
Yes.
My dad took me to see those re-releases.
Yes, and I think that Lucas changed some things. He changed a lot of the. There are different things in the original movie and in the re-release special edition, and
Yeah.
I have both of those.
Oh.
I have the old ones on VHS
And the re-release.
re-released on VHS.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely did some new kind of mastering to the ones I saw.
Yes, and I think that
Yeah.
made fans kind of mad. The only thing that made me mad was with the Return of the Jedi, how they changed. Well, maybe they didn't change it at that time. They might have re-released it again on DVD, and then they put Hayden Christensen in there.
Yeah. At the ending. That was
Yes.
that was
Yes,
afterwards.
and then that made a lot of fans.
I remember
mad.
watching that movie on Spike TV and then Hayden Christensen popping up. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Shouldn't he be older?
Yeah, what is going on? How did they know that? How did they predict the future?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, Hasbro in the beginning, Kenner in the beginning, when they did the contract, because Lucasfilms was in such a dire need of getting a toy company going.
Yeah.
The contract that they had at the time was Kenner got 95 cents for every toy sold. They got 95 cents on the dollar, and Lucas got 2.5 cents, and 20th Century Fox got 2.5 cents.
Who did the negotiation?
I
back
don't know.
then? Oh my
It was
gosh.
not a good
It was
negotiation.
botched.
Yes.
It was not
so
well done at all.
Lucasfilms, when Hasbro turned around and bought Kenner Toys, and Lucasfilms came back and said, okay, we're going to renegotiate it. They renegotiated it for something that they were really happy with.
Yeah.
Something that was going to benefit them, even though the toys took a slump. They said that a lot of the prequel toys did not sell well, even though I collect them because I have 12-inch dolls. I have Shakti, I have Bear Sophie, and I also have Darth Maul.
Okay.
Those are my dolls, the 12-inch dolls.
The 12-inch dolls,
Because
yeah.
I really love those, and I think some of the toys now, when you look at them, people are buying them because they still love Star Wars, and I think more so now because now the prequels are getting older. They're getting to the point where they're almost 20 years, and so now people are having an interest in it again. So sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes a bad thing, but I still love Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
Now, here we are 40 years later, and the toys are now becoming highly collectible.
Yes.
All over the world.
Yes.
There is a place called Rancho Obi-Wan, and it has the biggest collection of toys, along with a man named Mark Bellamo. He has 65,000 toys in his personal collection, and he owns every single Kenner Star Wars toy ever created.
What?
He owns every single one.
How is that possible? Because he was buying them up like
He,
hotcakes.
yeah, he must have been buying them like hotcakes, but he has every single toy.
That is insane.
Think about that. Every single toy that Kenner has ever made that's Star Wars. That means all the Easy Bake Oven things, all the shooting games, all of those things. And over 1 billion Star Wars toys have been made and sold.
Wow.
1 billion. 1B with a billion.
That is crazy to
1B.
think about. Actually, I could even say, not say, but more wouldn't surprise me either. But 1 billion is still a lot.
1 billion is a lot. And
It's
I
a
mean,
lot.
as far as toys are, now how many of those toys got burned up, or some of those toys got chewed up like we were just talking about a little while ago?
Yes. Look, Legos look like candy sometimes, okay? I'm sorry.
And I think, Legos came along a little bit later.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the first round of toys.
No,
I
those
think it was
yeah.
in the second
Yeah.
round of toys with Hasbro. And you see all of these. I went to Legoland and I was just blown away by all of the Star Wars toys in there. All the and people own this stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
That's
So
true.
I mean, I can't even imagine. My sons had a lot of Legos, and yes, they were chewed. Because they look
I'm
like
not the
candy.
only one.
Yes, you're not the only one. But there is a top 50 most popular toys. You want to know what they are?
I do.
All right, so I'm going to tell you from 50 on down. So number 50 is the early bird certificate. That
The
is-
certificate that we would still appreciate right now.
yeah, exactly.
just spoke
And
about not so long
along
ago.
with the Star Wars fan club membership.
Yeah.
Now, the commander, George Sakul, which is George Lucas. I don't know if I said that right. Sakul?
Yeah.
Is that cool? Number 49. Now, who wouldn't like this one? Carbonite Han Solo.
Ah.
Who wouldn't want a frozen Han Solo? Although you could put him in the freezer and he would
Yeah, just take your Han Solo that you
Put
already
it
have.
in the
Just put it in.
freezer.
There you go. You have a carbonite Han Solo.
your own. Like, just
Solved
dip
your
him
problems
in.
right there.
You could put him in an ice tray and
Yeah.
put him in the fridge, and he would be
Absolutely.
in carbonate.
Yes. Not even that's somebody's ghetto parent would do for sure. I couldn't get it, but I sure just put
Here
him in
you
the
are
freezer.
for Christmas. You could put him in your drink.
It's good enough, Mom. Thanks.
The Poe Dameron role play helmet with built-in mic.
Really?
Yeah, number 47.
Wow. Poe
Yeah.
Dameron's already up there?
Yes. 46 is the
job, Poe.
Chewbacca electronic mask. Remember how
Yeah.
popular that was?
That lady became famous off that. A lady became famous. She went viral because she took her son's mask and she put it on in her van and she was talking.
She was just giggling and
Yeah.
going at it.
Yeah.
And now, she's got 1 million views on YouTube and
Yep.
making cash.
She was on Ellen. Ellen gave her money.
Oh, my
Like,
God.
it
That's
was a lot.
crazy.
It
We
was
need
a
to do
lot.
something crazy like that. How about 45, the land speeder for kids?
Yes.
That
I
is
know.
real.
I
I
know
wanted
exactly what
that at Toys R Us, but Mark told me no.
Mark.
He put his foot down. He's like, "Where are we going to put this thing? Because it's something kids can ride in." I said, "Well, I could just have it."
Yeah, Gary, and I could just kick you out the house. And we could
How about 44,
kidding,
the
Mark.
Droid Factory playset?
Yeah. The Droid Factory. A lot. It was a show that Kevin, Jay and Silent Bob, I forgot her name. Kevin. It's not coming right now, but they have a comic book show, Comic Book Man. But they also like people get to bring in toys, and I believe that was on one of their episodes.
Wow, that's really cool. How about the number 43 was the Jumbo 12-inch Kenner dolls toys, the 12-inch Kenner dolls. So all of those.
Yeah. Okay.
So any
All
of
the Kenner 12-inch
all
dolls,
the
yeah.
Kenner 12-inch dolls. But I believe it has to be Kenner and not Kenner Hasbro.
Has to just be Kenner.
Has to be
Kenner
Kenner
alone. Yeah.
we can look in that book and
Yeah.
see where the 12-inch dolls are. 42 is the Obi-Wan Kenobi doll. I happen to own that in the Black Series.
Is that in the bag right now?
Yeah, he's in the bag.
Okay.
He is my man.
Yeah, he's with
He's
us.
in the bag.
She
That's
carries
him.
him wherever she
Yes,
goes.
that's right. 41 is the Death Squad Commander
Ah.
doll. Yes, a lot of people like that. How about number 40? The Kylo Ren Deluxe Electronic Lightsaber.
Oh.
Who doesn't like standing there and
Ah.
lighting that lightsaber?
Because Kylo Ren
I
already
happen to know a guy who has one.
Really? He does have already one of the best lightsabers, people
Oh,
say
he does?
already. Just because of that cross. Like,
Yeah, it's really, it was unique. The very first time I saw that, I was like, What the heck?
When I saw it on the trailer, when I saw the trailer, I was like, "What? Who is he?"
Yes.
To where he has this.
Yes, and I mean, I want to see him come back in movie 9 and be the guy he was in
I
The
agree.
Force Awakens.
I
I
agree.
want to see. I don't want to see a confused guy. I want to see him
And evil.
evil, and he knew what he
Yeah.
wanted, and he just went after it.
You signed up for this life, buddy. Don't go back now.
That's
It's too
right,
late
man.
now.
And you killed your dad,
Yeah,
so you
it's
have
too.
no choice.
Yeah, it's too late. I see no good in you whatsoever.
How about number 39, the Presto Magic Transfer Return of the Jedi?
I'm sorry.
That's
I found the
unusual.
12-inch figure page.
Oh,
I'm sorry. It's here.
Okay, so it's the Presto Magic Transfer Return of the Jedi. That's really unique. How about General Grievous doll, which is 38?
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm like, what is that? I don't. I'm gonna have to look that up. General
That's why I like-
General Grievous. I'm sorry. The way I wrote that, I'm like, what the heck? I'm so sorry. I'm not on drugs. I promise you.
That would
I
be
just
me. No, I'm
worked
just
a
kidding.
very long shift.
It's never Angie. It's always me that's on the drugs. Okay.
I just worked a very long shift, and I cannot read my own writing. So General Grievous doll. I
Yeah.
would so dig that.
I would like a General Grievous doll
with
too.
all the lightsabers.
All
I
four?
want him to be holding all the lightsabers.
Oh yeah, that
I
would
love
be
that.
that would be dope.
And I'd like to know who he killed to get those.
That's a movie for another.
That's right, a movie for another
Yeah.
time.
No, yep. Absolutely.
37 is the Darth Vader voice changer mask.
Yes, we have that here in our stop at Mad
Yes.
Studios.
Oh my God, Aaron, put it on,
We have it.
please.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely will. Yes. Now.
That's some, yeah. No, a little bit later when we're
All right,
alone.
All right.
36 is the yak face, highly sought after. One in mint condition is worth thousands.
Wow.
I don't even know what this character is. Yak face.
Yak face. I would definitely have to look that
Yeah,
up.
we'll have to look it up. Number 35 is the Han Solo laser pistol.
Mhm,
Who
yes.
wouldn't want that?
Yes, my brother had one.
Oh, wow. Did he chew on it?
What's up, Jordan? No. Not this one. Unfortunately, thank God he didn't. Jeez. If he did, I would have slapped him myself. But he did get one. He was in Star Wars for just a little bit, and he
Just for like a hot minute?
Yeah, just for a hot minute. Even hot second. He was a huge fan of Han Solo. So.
Okay, number 34 is the Emperor's Royal Guard doll.
There's a Royal Guard doll?
Yes, you need to look in the book.
Oh, oh my gosh.
How about this one? 33, the Stormtrooper Luke doll.
Yes.
That would be
That's
cool
a pretty
too.
That's a pretty famous one though, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
pretty
why it's
famous.
number 33.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous one. I've seen that a lot.
Okay, so number 32 is the speeder bike playset.
The speeder bike playset.
Yeah, so that must have been when they were on the moons of Endor.
Okay.
So that could have been something like that. 31 is the Tauntaun playset.
Ah.
How about the one where Luke Skywalker, yep, you get to put him inside.
Yeah,
the
you get to put
Tauntaun.
him
That
inside
would've
the
been cool.
Tauntaun.
Yeah.
That would-
All the little stuffs in there. I wonder if it's like spaghetti or something, looking like the little plastic kind of spaghetti
Yeah.
thing where you put him inside. We'll have to look in the book and see if it's in there. And I actually got that at Frankensons. I was at a Star Wars event there, and this guy had this book. And I looked at it, and my friend, I said, "How much is it?" He's like, $10. I'm like, "Should I get it?" He goes, "Yeah, get it." 'Cause
Absolutely.
I'm glad I got that. I love books that have all the informative information in it.
Yeah.
About
The encyclopedias.
dolls.
Yeah.
All of that. I always
Absolutely.
I like the ones that have all the different characters and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I still need to get the newest one. I do want the one from Rogue One.
Okay.
The book from Rogue One. Okay, so next is number 30. It's the Death Star Space Station playset.
Yes, I know exactly what that is.
Is that
I
one
had
you
I had the Lego set up.
You had the
though.
Lego one?
I had the Lego one, yes.
If you put that together, God bless you, man.
I never did. I never did.
I watched
tried.
it on Big Bang, man, and it looked like Sheldon Cooper had been at it for a few years.
Shout out to my friend Sule. We tried, but there was just no way it was happening.
You look at the instructions like, what the Sam
there
hell?
was just no, there was no way it was happening.
That takes some real love and dedication.
Absolutely.
So number 29 is the R2D2 doll. I would have loved that. I would have loved
I see that being really, really popular.
Yes. Number 28, Anakin to Vader doll. I have that one. I wish
do
I
you?
had brought it. and it talks.
I
you know,
found
you
the
press the button.
Emperor's Royal
Yes.
Guard doll.
Yeah,
I
there
found
we
it right
go.
here.
See, that's
Looks
the doll.
awesome though.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to have that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ominous. Number 27 is the Star Wars Micro Collection. Now, when they came out with that,
Micro.
the micro machines, they
Yeah.
were very popular. I have
Yeah.
a few of those at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, Micro Machine came back and was pretty popular again.
Well, that's because Star Wars, and I think Micro Machines, didn't they have like a comic?
Yeah,
or a
yeah, they had
cartoon?
licenses to a lot of things. Micro Machine, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they had license to a lot of stuff.
But if you stepped on them, oh man, you were
Yeah, it
you were
was
not
done.
saying I like Micro Machines. You were saying a few other things.
Yes.
Okay, so 26 is the 40th anniversary Darth Vader doll.
Mm,
So that would have been cool too, but
Yeah.
as long as they didn't make a whole lot of changes.
yeah, yeah. Just leave it. Just leave it as how it is.
Leave it as it is.
Leave
Don't
it as
change
is.
too much. Although I believe there are 6 different versions of Darth Vader.
I think with his, it's actually a lot of them have to do with, if I'm not mistaken, his console button.
Yes.
Yes.
And
yes,
the
yes.
coloring.
And the color. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends is a Darth Vader for the 501st, and he explained to me about the mask. It's all black, but some of it is gray.
Oh.
And they did that in the movie in order to make him not look washed out.
Okay.
Because he would have looked washed out if it was
It's just all
because
black.
the way
Yeah.
the camera
yeah,
was.
Yeah.
So they had to add that gray in there. So his costume has actually got the gray in it.
Okay.
So I never knew that. And if you look at some of like his little bib thing in
Yeah.
the front, it's got gray in it too.
Okay.
And I didn't know that's why they did that. So you learn a lot when you talk to different people
It's good to
about
talk to-
that. Yes, it's good to talk about
It
to
is.
many people about Star Wars because you learn all kinds of things. Number 25 is the Rey Force of Destiny doll, which I got for my son's, for my granddaughter, and hopefully she didn't tear that apart.
Let's hope not.
I hope not either. I took it
hope
out of the
not.
box, so it's not mint in box.
Angie, you took it out the box.
I had to.
Yeah.
She wanted to play with it. But I'm going to have to get one for myself since I see that it's 25. Number 24 is Big Light's Dark Lighter doll.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's in that too.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure it's in there.
Let's see.
23 is the Master Replica lightsaber, which I happen to own.
Yeah, you have
I
the
have the
Mace
Mace
Windu. You have
Windu
the
one.
Mace
I
Windu.
brought it here today.
Yes.
If we one of these days when we go to a video again, I will bring it back and show you. It's really awesome. But you know the thing
is.
is you cannot have a lightsaber battle with it because if you whack it around, you're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. That's more of something.
Heed our warning, people.
Yes, that's something you hang up or you leave on you have it in the stand in an
Absolutely.
area that's special. It has to be in an area that's special.
In your Star Wars shrine corner.
That's right, in the shrine. Now, number 22 is the Han Solo Hoth outfit.
The outfit?
The
Like,
outfit.
as
So
in
it must have been an
Halloween
outfit.
costume?
It might have been a Halloween costume or it might have been something that kids could put on,
Gotcha.
but it was the Hoth outfit. So it was like a jacket kind of situation.
Yeah.
Thing. Number 21, the Lando Calrissian doll, Colt 45. Nothing smoother than that man, I'm telling you. Number 20, and I've met him and his son.
Oh, that's
And
all.
I didn't even know that was his son that I
And
was
you
talking
said he was
to.
still smooth too.
Oh, yeah. He was really sweet, and his son was really sweet, too. I had no idea it was him. We were practicing at Frankenson's for a show, and I said, "Oh, you want to watch our routine and see what we're doing?" He goes, "Yeah, that would be great." And so then my friend said, "Do you know who that is?" I said, "No." And he said, "That's
He's why we're here.
yes, exactly." That's Billy
He's
D.
the pioneer.
Williams' son. I'm like, what? I couldn't talk after that. I was all nervous. The number 20 doll, number 20 is the Imperial Trooper Transport Vehicle. Say that 3 times fast. Imperial Trooper Transport Vehicle. Yes. Number 19 is Grand Admiral Thrawn doll.
Oh wow.
Wow. And you know what? I
Wow.
did not know this, but
That's really low that's really like high on the list.
yeah, as far as the doll, Thrawn.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, that a lot of in the books and I guess it would be a lot of in the books and the comic books, they did not like this guy because he was not like a lot of the Imperial Army. Because the Imperial Army looks like just a bunch of women and men of the same color.
Yeah.
I'll put it that
Yeah.
way. But Thrawn was blue. So I think But we don't know what the stormtroopers looked like because they had their coverings. But as far as any of the officers and stuff, they were all of the same. They almost looked like cookie cutter people.
Yeah.
They looked all the same.
Yeah.
So Thrawn was different, and even though he was part of that, he was different. But he was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to read the books, even though they don't count. You don't know which books are in, which books are out. I don't have any idea. So number 18 is the R2D2 superhero version.
R2D2 super. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it says superhero version. So
Yeah.
Sphero version, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen that either. Number 17 is the Obi-Wan Kenobi doll from the Sideshow collection. So Sideshow has a lot of really, really cool dolls. They did the Stormtroopers as these warriors, as the
very detailed dolls,
Japanese
too.
warriors. Those were really cool.
Yeah,
and
they have-
yes, I've seen a lot of the Sideshow stuff.
Yeah. I think already has that sideshow Darth Vader. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, and I think he also has one of the stormtroopers that's they were in the traditional Japanese armor. So that's really cool too. Number 16, I'm sorry. The Boba Fett Slave Ship 1. That's really cool. I mean, but he's number 16. Number 15 is the Dagobah playset.
Okay.
Going to Dagobah and, hang out. Number 14 is the Han Solo doll. Number 13 is Jabba the Hutt doll.
Are those two dolls, the Jabba the Hutt and Han Solo, were those 12-inch dolls or were those?
I believe that the Jabba the Hutt is, if I'm thinking of it, it's probably the one where he's sitting in that area.
Oh.
He was smoking the little thingy bobber.
Yeah.
Like
hookah?
Yeah, like the hookah. And then they had that the little dude in the glass jar next to him, kind of thing. And I think that's what it is because I've seen that before. Now the Han Solo doll, I guarantee you, it's the 12-inch doll. Okay. It could very well be the 3 3/4 inch doll.
Okay.
So I don't know which one it is. It didn't really say. How about the number 12 is the Yoda doll. I have a couple stuffed Yodas. And I have my little Yoda doll with the storybook, so that's kind of cool. I like
My
that.
son goes to sleep with his Yoda.
Does he?
Yeah.
I even have an Easter basket that's Yoda.
That's really
Yes. I see Star Wars and I just run. Number 11 is the Propel RC drones. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I remember those.
Those are awesome.
Wow.
My friend actually has one of those.
Okay.
So that's number 11. So that's really low on the list, too. Number 10 is...
Top 10.
Yes, here we go. Princess Leia Organa, the Black Series doll.
Oh.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Yes. Wow. Number 9 is the BB-8 action figure. You remember the little one that kind of rolled around kind of thing, and you can use the handkerchief? That's really cool. I had a friend that has
was the
that
first
too.
Princess Leia sighting or name we had too.
Yeah, and this is the first time. Number 10. I don't think she's on any other part of the list. which I would have thought that the slave Leia doll would have been somewhere on this list, but it's not. Number 8 is Darth Vader TIE Fighter vehicle. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I see why that's there. Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 7 is the Kyber Light lightsaber. And that one had the little teeny Kyber light in it, which is cool. It kind of gives you the idea of why they were on certain planets mining it.
Yeah.
And number 6 is the Jabba Rancor pit playset. That one is unusual.
That sounds also fun too.
Put your favorite doll in the Rancor prison.
Yeah. It does. I don't know.
That one, I would have thought, you ask you put a list for Christmas and you're a kid and you tell your mom or your dad, I want the Jabba Rancor pit playset.
Sure, coming right up.
Yeah, I'm like, what? What are you asking for? Now, this one is really cute. I bought the Play School one for a for a little girl that was at our house at Christmas time. Didn't want her to have any toys or anything. So I bought her the Ewok Play School Village.
Oh, wow.
So it was really cool. But the Ewok Village playset, which it probably wasn't Play School. It was probably something a little bit older.
Yeah.
Something like the 5-year-old to 12-year-old doll type of thing, for kids. Number 4, Farm Boy Luke Skywalker.
Walker. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Number 3, AT-AT.
Oh, really?
Yes, the big AT-AT.
The
And
AT-AT, yeah.
my nephew Matthew actually has that.
Shout out to Matthew.
Yes, Matthew.
Good job, Matthew.
Yeah.
Great job.
Works at Starbucks. I love that guy. Number 2 is the Millennial Falcon.
Of
ship,
course.
of course.
Of
Number 2.
course.
And the man that I saw on the Toys That Made Us, he has made every single toy that has had the Millennial Falcon, whether it be the small one or the big one. He has been the guy who has created that.
That's called dedication.
That's right. And he had all those toys around his table when he was doing the interview.
That's awesome.
Number one.
What is it? What is it?
Boba Fett he was a mail away doll that was never released in the public. So if someone says they have it,
They're lying.
they're lying. They don't have
And
it.
that is the number one toy?
Number one toy. That because it is like the holy grail of Star Wars toys. Because it was not released. It was supposed to have like a little shooter thing in the back. And the guy at the Obi-Wan, Rancho Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah.
he had 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had 2 of them. One was just all blue, and the other one was like painted. So I don't know. There were only 5 in existence that I know of, and they may have been like mock kind of dolls that they were trying to get together. But the reason why it wasn't released is I believe it was Mattel had a toy that had some sort of rocket, and a kid got it lodged in his throat.
Oh, no.
And so they decided no, we're not going to put this out.
Let's continue it.
So this never happened. And the reason why Boba Fett was such a mystery at that time was during the, I believe it was the Star Wars, it was some sort of Star Wars show that they had put out in 1977, or right after A New Hope or something like that. They had put it out, and I don't know if it was the Christmas series or it was some sort of cartoon, and I saw it. But it was the Boba Fett character was introduced at that point.
Okay.
And then maybe after that, they put him into Return of the Jedi? Yeah, so maybe it was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
He comes back he shows up in the Empire Strikes Back. But he is the number one toy.
Wow.
But holy grail of
It's crazy.
toys.
The number one toy is a toy you cannot have.
You cannot own this.
That's crazy.
Cannot own this.
Also makes sense too, though.
Yeah, that's what makes it the holy grail of toys.
Wow.
See, they did that on purpose.
Angie, I got to give it to you for that list. I got to give it to you.
I know, I'm like out of breath now. Okay, so Aaron, you got to tell me your top 10 toys.
Yeah, and also like with me and Angie, we're talking to off camera too. Like my top 10 toys are also going to include video games.
Yes.
Which were because I had more Star Wars video games than I had Star Wars toys. So my top 10, no particular order. It doesn't have to be.
No, not any.
Well, my top 10 toy had a Millennium Falcon. A lot of them, my toys were Legos. So I had a Millennium Falcon
Was
Lego.
this the one you never put together?
There was a few I did not put together. I had a Millennium Falcon Lego toy. I don't know how many pieces, but it was a lot of pieces.
Oh my God!
A lot of pieces, even from the cockpit, even to inside.
Yeah,
So
when you open the box and you see like 1,000 pieces.
Yeah,
like,
it was one of the when you build it, you just put up somewhere like where no kid can get it or knock it over or anything like that. I also had a Death Star. Which is one of the most popular Lego toys.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, one of the most popular Lego toys that a lot of people don't even get to put together. There's also one where you put together. I don't know if it's Lego, or it might be Lego where you could even like open it up and like put it back together.
Oh my God!
Yeah, but I had one of those, but I quickly took it back to Target because there was just no way it was happening.
You opened it up, you're like, good Lord.
Yeah, this
is the mother of projects.
I had an X-wing Lego toy that I did put together with my dad. Shout out to my dad. He actually did most of the work. I just watched. But that one, it was actually pretty cool, and it actually came with a R2-D2 and it came with a Luke Skywalker.
Wow.
So that one was awesome. So those are my 3 Lego ones I got growing up. I had KB Toys. A lot of people, our listeners. I
remember that.
Yeah, our listeners know KB. They had Versus. They had a series of toys like called Versus, I believe. It ranged from Marvel vs. Capcom to X-Men to even Star Wars. So I had a Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker toy set, and it came with a short of how their battle went. So you could take off Luke Skywalker's hand and put his metal one on.
Oh
and
my
stuff like
gosh, that would have been
that
awesome.
and KB Toy, they did this versus series for like I want to say like a few years.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then
Sharon.
yeah, I had that when I was younger. It was dope. And also with that versus series, I also had a Han Solo and Chewbacca, and Chewbacca had two versions of his crossbow. And Han
Wow.
Solo had he had his blaster.
I'm going to cry right now.
And I was young. I was maybe like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, that's not a toy for a child that
Yeah,
age.
it's not. It's really not. And to be honest, I don't. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't open the Han Solo one. I believe my Uncle Steven still has that in Belize somewhere, maybe. So, Uncle Steven, if you have it,
Yeah,
don't open
mail
it
it,
nor
please.
sell it. Yes.
Mail it.
Let me have it back. And then the rest for me were video games. Battlefront 1 was Star Wars Battlefront 1 was a game that changed not only my life but changed life as far as online games and multiplayer games. It changed everything. So Battlefront 1, also Battlefront 2. I couldn't think Battlefront nothing could top Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 came out. That was huge. The maps were bigger, the battles were bigger. A lot was going on screen, and for that to be a PlayStation 2 game was crazy to see. No one's ever seen anything like that. Star Wars Force Unleashed, I can't talk. I bring up Star Killer on the show a lot.
Yeah, you do.
One of the best
And
characters.
you've educated me on him.
I mean, this guy's he's a true gem. He's a champion. He's my spirit animal. Force Unleashed 1 and 2 were games that changed. Actually, those games got me into writing just because the writing was so good, and George Lucas giving that team the freedom to make up their own Star Wars story. They forever are still grateful for him doing that because he didn't have to. He could have easily said like, "No, you guys are gonna make this game," but he was like, "Yeah, you guys want to go ahead and make a new story, start from scratch? Just don't embarrass me. You guys are good." So that game, just for the writing in the original Star Wars story, we haven't even seen that, and we still haven't. So the Star Wars Force.
But look at how enduring it is to you and probably millions of others.
Yeah, and it's crazy scrolling on Instagram, and on my Explore page, there are a lot of Star Wars Force Unleashed fans who constantly are in these forums writing this, writing Lucas and whoever's in charge right now. Like, hey, we need a Star Killer movie. We need something, anything, movie, toy, animated short, anything. They're just dying for something with the Star Killer. So, I hope they hear us. Because we're out here and we're itching.
Yeah.
And my number one is my Star Wars Pod Racer game that now is at every arcade you go to. So you actually get to sit in the Pod Racer. But I didn't get to do when the game first came out. It was just strictly your controller. There was nothing. But my game, when I got the Pod Racer game, it came with because a lot of Star Wars figurines, their arms just go up and down. They don't bend like the G.I. Joes.
Right.
But this one came with a little Anakin Skywalker whose legs bent, and it came with a Pod Racer too when you ordered the special edition, and you get to put him inside. And
did he have his little helmet on?
Yeah, he had his little helmet on.
God,
The helmet that is just too big to fit his head. His head is bobbling everywhere.
Yes.
Absolutely. It
and
came
the
with that.
The little things that come
and
down.
those were limited edition, I believe.
Oh my God! Please tell me you still have that.
I do not have it.
Oh my
I do
gosh!
not. This game came out on a PlayStation 2 was so long ago. I do not have that.
You know what? One of these days you're gonna be cleaning your room like, oh my God, there he is.
I hope so. But now, like, it's passed on to my son. My son Chris has like a lot of Star Wars toys. Of course, I'm his father, so what do you expect?
Yes,
but
and you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy you this, but you can't open it.
The tradition lives on. So those are my top 10 toys. I believe. Those are 10. Yeah.
I think that the video games were really important because not only did you like in the 70s they didn't have that.
Yeah.
So being able to play with the dolls, it puts you right into the mix of Star Wars. But the games, the games, you were in the seat.
Oh man,
you were there.
You were immersed. My dad. When I got my Star Wars Pod Racer game, I believe it was a Star Wars Pod Racer game. Oh, it's all right then. Don't worry. It's actually George Lucas calling us right now to tell us like to keep it on the hush and why did we bring up.
And I can't find my phone right now.
Oh, it's okay, Angie. It happens. I had to make sure my volume was low too. Oh, isn't that just a bummer when it's just someone you don't know and
it's a random phone call?
But there was a Star Wars game on Atari, and of course you've seen the Star Wars movies. The targeting system that it looks weird, like on the Millennium Falcon. That was the actual game. So he was pretty envious. Like, the Star Wars game I played, like, sucked because couldn't figure it out. Or they really couldn't figure out the Star Wars game. And then later on, I believe in the 80s or early 90s, a Star Wars game came out where you had to do the game was only the mission to blow up the Star Destroyer. That was the mission, to drop the bomb in.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, that was just the game. After you did that, it was over. That was it.
Yeah, but think about how many times you had to try before you got that.
It was hard. Yeah, absolutely, it was hard. So
20 hours in the room, I can't do it anymore. I gotta walk away.
I even played that game. I even got to play that game, which was pretty nostalgic and dope for me too.
But it
so.
immersed you in it. You know, like I said, the toys made the kids feel like they're, because we didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know, but then you're seeing the actual ships. You're inside the ship.
Yeah.
You're communicating with the different characters. And so that's why I think the games were just like exploded, because it really took you somewhere else. And like you're saying, you know, Star Killer, is that his name?
Yeah, Star Killer, yeah.
Yeah, he was some character that was not even in the movies.
No, Galen Merrick was not in the movies.
No, he wasn't in the movies. So you're like, oh my God, this is just something else. And I mean, and like you said, George Lucas gave these people the run of it. Go ahead, do this. And I mean, I wish that this kind of thing would keep going. Yeah. Because you see people have some great ideas about
Absolutely.
things.
I mean, we start our show saying, like, well, you do start the show saying, like, we talk about Star Wars in a different point of view. And I think people out there have different points of view on Star Wars, how they would want to tackle it on and stuff like that.
Right. And
got to give people those opportunities.
Right. And I don't want to do it in a negative light. I like to do it in a fun light. Like, what if, you know, the what ifs. And what if it could be like this? Or, wow, it would be great if it was like that. You know, and that's why I like to do the pots and pans of Star Wars. Even though, you know, you hear a lot of shows that are going forward, talking about the new things. I still like Old Republic. I still like all these movies from the past that make Star Wars what it is right now.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think I want to do it in a positive way and in a fun way.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, my son growing up, in 1977, I was 15, so please don't do the math.
Put your calculators down, people. What's wrong with you?
Put the calculators down. But I did not buy any of the toys because my son did not like that. He didn't like, you know, when he was old enough, he was into He-Man.
Okay.
He was not into any of the Star Wars, but I do have a Empire Strikes Back book. You know, I bought him a book at Christmas time, and he loved the book. And it's just, you know, a picture book of Star Wars, but it's me who loves Star Wars.
Yes.
It's me who loves it. So I have, I pick certain things. I don't want to just buy random stuff, because everyone's like, when I go to some of the comic book conventions, everyone tells me, oh, buy this or buy that. No, I don't like this. I don't like that. But I am so bummed that I did not get that Black Series Revan. I'm really bummed. I mean, $20 was not really a bad price for the dude.
Not at all. Not at all.
You know, I was going to tell you that Revan was chosen as a Black Series doll because he was a fan favorite. Yeah. And so they decided Hasbro decided to release him as a toy. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think it's kind of maybe we're going to see a Revan movie, maybe. I would like to see that, you know, because there's a lot of great characters that go along with him.
Yeah,
so
as well.
Maybe, you know, put our hands together, do a little rubbing of the chicken bones.
Yeah. Some voodoo. Are you suggesting we do voodoo for this Revan movie? Is that what we're doing now? How about we just knock off wood?
Not doing the chicken bones.
Yeah,
together.
no chicken bones.
My family does come. I do have Jamaican roots, so I mean.
Oh, geez, so it was just natural for you to say that.
It's natural for me to say that.
Yeah, that was just DNA. That was just DNA.
But I do have some Black Series dolls. I have my Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. I have my Obi-Wan, of course. And then I have Rey in Black Series, so I do like that. I do like the Pops, and I have Ahsoka as a Pop. I have Mace Windu. He's a bigger Pop, and then I have Jabba the Hutt as a Pop. Mm-hmm. I like that. So, but I don't have the whole collection because it could easily get out of control. Yeah. And I do have a Sauron Pop. That's
really?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That's another genre.
I didn't even know they had Lord of the Rings. I didn't even know that.
Yes, and I have my 3 12-inch dolls, which is the Shakti, I have Barriss Ophi, and then I have Darth Maul. And then I also have a really big, he is maybe a 12 inch, not 12 inch, but he's bigger than that, like 1 foot kind of doll.
Oh, okay,
he's
yeah.
a bigger one. I have him on my desk. And then I have my FX graphic saber, which
Yeah.
I brought today so you could see that.
Yes,
and
the
those,
next one, do
like I
one.
said, those are the ones you don't play with. You're just supposed to put it on display.
Maybe take some pictures in it so we can post it up on
Yeah,
the page.
we'll do that.
Yeah.
And I can put my dolls out so we can do that.
Yeah.
I also have my Destiny ones, which you told me you're supposed to play with them when you're playing
You are.
the game.
You are.
But I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
it's still mint in box.
It's
and
crazy.
that's-
They just go on the mat and you put them on the mat that comes with it, and they just pop up on the game. It's crazy how
Oh my
how
gosh.
Disney Infinity did
And
that.
I have my Obi-Wan. He's in my car. He travels with me all the time.
I see. That's when I asked you. I was like, "That Obi-Wan Kenobi, Disney
Yes.
Infinity doll."
Yes,
yeah.
he is. And then he also has little headphones on.
Oh, he does.
Yes, he has. I got him from.
I don't think I saw that the
I
first
got
time.
that from the Hip Hop Troopers,
Oh,
so I put it on him. So he's got his little headphones on. But I also have a Boba Fett in the Destiny series.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to think of what else. I've got so many dolls. I do have the Darth Vader, the Anakin to Darth Vader doll, and I have a collector's edition of Obi-Wan. He's the older Obi-Wan.
Okay.
So I have those. So I do a lot of the collectible dolls and books. I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of
A
the
big
Star
bookie,
Wars.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though those are not toys, they're still linked in with Star Wars. And I'm probably around 120 books right now.
Wow.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. I just got the all 9 books from the X-Wing series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have all 9 of them.
Those have to be good reads.
Yeah, I have Revan, I have Bane, I have all of that. I'm now into the Jedi, the new Jedi, when the kids. It's Han Solo and Luke and Han Solo and Leia's kids.
Yeah.
You know, and I think even in that series, Luke had children too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
believe so.
I'm now at those books collecting those. So I'm going through. I'm almost through all of it, and then I can start collecting all of the newer ones. That
Oh,
they
awesome.
have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just got Catalyst, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Rogue One.
Yeah, the Rogue One. Oh,
Yes.
wow. Oh, geez.
I can't wait to read that.
Yeah, that has to
and
be a
it's
good read,
hard
too.
copy. My friend Crystal hooked me up with that.
Shout out to Crystal.
Yeah, shout out to Crystal. I do have I have music too. I have almost all of the soundtracks from Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Those scores must be.
Amazing. They're amazing.
Those have to be epic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do collect the movies. So those are in a way that's kind of my toy and my collection kind of thing.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
said everybody when I was watching the show, The Toys That Made Us, one of the things that they said that if you collect shoes, then you're a shoe collector.
Yeah.
If you collect purses, then you're a purse collector. I collect Star Wars stuff.
You're a collector.
I'm a collector of certain things.
Yes.
I do have all the movies. I have all the Clone Wars. I even have the little Clone War movie that started all the Clone Wars. I'm just now in the process of getting the Rebel movies.
Yeah. People have their niche, and this just so happens to be ours.
Yes, and I love all of the books that are different. They show like all the different characters, costumes, anything to do with any kind of
The
information.
informative stuff. Yeah,
Informative
yeah.
books
Just talking about
about
like the
Star Wars.
encyclopedias and
Yes.
stuff like that. Yeah.
When I was at the Star Wars Read Day, I picked up a couple of them that I showed you.
Yeah,
It was the
that you brought here,
animals
yep.
and the technology.
That we
So-
use for this show.
Yes, exactly. That's why I have them.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of good
Yes,
stuff.
Yes. So if you're a collector of Star Wars toys, kudos to you.
Bring them by.
Yeah,
bring
bring
'em
them by. We
Yeah,
like
bring
to
them
just-
by. Yeah.
But don't open them. Aaron wants to open all
Open
the toys.
it. No, don't open it.
You can't. Isn't it like what we were just talking about earlier? The 40-year-old
Virgin, yeah. If
he
you've
had
seen
all
that
those
movie,
toys.
yeah. Seen that movie, he actually had like a little anxiety panic attack and didn't want to, last minute, didn't want to sell them. He didn't want to, or didn't want to mess them up.
Yeah.
They were kissing on the boxes and he was like, you cannot do that. Like, it just diminishes the value of it.
Exactly.
Once, yeah.
Because that's how highly a lot of people, when they have these toys. I have a lot of Lord of the Ring dolls. I have the 12-inch dolls, and I have a few of the Legolas dolls. I even have an Uruk-hai. He's got a little handprint on his face. I don't know if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And so
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I have him. And so I'm in the process of collecting a few more of those, and I can't wait to have my Legolas knife on the. I have Sting. I have the sword Sting.
Yeah, yeah.
So and then I have posters and things. And when my daughter moved out, I made that the Lord of the Ring room.
Oh, really?
So yes, my one of my sons came to the house and he's like, "Mom, what is this? What is this in here?"
Carrie, you served your purpose.
Yes, it's all Lord of the Rings. So, but I am a big Star Wars fan. But I'm also a Lord of the Rings fan.
A fan of everything geek.
Yes. I don't know if Batman. I collected the soundtracks, which are really really
You
cool.
even gave me some copies of.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
But not of the older ones. I like the
new ones.
the newer ones. The other ones were too. I hate to say that because I did like the 1960s version of Batman, but the movies that came out in the 80s they were so cartoonish, and I didn't really like them.
No, it's okay. That's
even
fine.
when I was younger and they were out, I didn't like them.
There are plenty of people who agree with you on that statement. Like you are not the only one. You are not the only one.
I didn't like the music. I didn't like any of it.
Yeah, the Nolan series scores with I forget. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank to his name. The newer Batman, the Batman Begins, and the Dark. Yeah.
Those ones were awesome.
Those are actual scores.
Yes, Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh
there you
my
go,
God,
Hans Zimmer.
man,
I
that
apologize
guy really
sincerely.
put that stuff together.
Yeah.
He is so talented.
Yeah.
He even did the music for Einstein because I just watched Einstein.
Oh, how was that?
It was awesome. It was really. But the music was fantastic.
Those are scores. Those are
Yes.
actual scores. You can even maybe just they just watch a show.
Yes.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And just love the music. But as far as toys, I do have quite a bit, and my daughter told me I was morphing into Star Wars. So I have a really cool clock. I'll have to take a picture of it. It's a record, and my son's girlfriend got that for me, and it's got all the Star Wars characters cut out of this record.
Oh, wow.
And I have it sitting right by my bed, and I also have my helmet. I have some artwork. And I also have this really cool Falcon that you can plug in. It's a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, my friend Nana. Shout out to Nana. She has the same. She works at the the Chinese food restaurant right when I work in Subway. She has the same thing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
That's those are awesome. I would definitely buy myself one.
And then I got a ship. I got a Poe Dameron ship, and so my son helped me put it together. It was the kind that you take out and it clicks together.
You click. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have
almost like the models.
Yes,
It
is a model. I just didn't put the stickers on because I'm going to need like a huge magnifying glass and some little I'm like teeny tweezers.
Yeah.
And you go to put it on, you're like shaking. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It takes you right back to that Death Star trying to put that sucker together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see all those pieces. Now, he put the ship together, and I've actually dropped it a couple times on the floor, and I've had to put it back together. So it took me a couple of the pieces when it fell off. I'm like, okay, where does this go? And I figured it out, and I thought, I want to put the stickers on. And then I went and looked at the stickers, and they were so tiny. I'm like, how am I going to get the stickers on that little teeny BB-8?
But you guys got it pieced together.
I have it pieced together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even have a few coffee mugs, Star Wars coffee mugs. I have. I collected a few. I have a huge collection of Star Wars stuffed animals, but they're for dogs.
Got you. So you are a collector. Right?
I'm a collector. They are dog toys, and they were at Petco and PetSmart, and so I have at least 15 of them.
There's a dog out there just waiting.
There's a dog waiting to chew on that. My son got 2 of them. He got the 2 of the Han Solo ones.
Okay.
My dog Harley, she chewed on the one of them. She goes to bed and she's chewing on her Han Solo dog. I actually have Luke and Leia. But I don't. I mean, I'm sorry. I have Han Solo and Leia, but I don't have a Luke.
Okay.
There isn't a Luke, so I'll have to keep my eye out on them. But I have everything. I even, I have a Jawa, a little teeny Jawa.
Really?
That's a dog chew toy.
What?
I'm like, I'm not in a BB-8. I'm like, yeah, these dogs are not in a BB.
They're not come next to these.
Yes, I have a little teeny Kylo Ren, and I mean, I don't have the heart to. I don't know how anybody could take a Star Wars stuffed animal like that and hand it to a dog because you know what they're going to do with it.
Oh yeah, they're ripping it to shreds.
My dog Harley, she's got a Jedi collar, and my dog Togo, he has got a Sith collar, and he's a Chihuahua. That's a mean guy, so I can totally see that's perfect for him.
Yeah,
It's perfect for him.
hand in hand.
Yes, he's a mean guy, so he needs to be wearing the Sith collar.
A true collector, indeed, you are. Andy.
Yes, I am. But I don't know. You collect too.
I do. Well, as far as like now, I'm a huge comic book collector.
Yes.
The older I've gotten, not so much Star Wars, but comic books. And if you guys ever came to Mass Studios, we are just a collector of books. We try to read as much as we can. So not so much Star Wars books, but just comic books in general.
Yeah.
You know, even like a lot of Marvel comic books. Where you're huge Marvels fans, and
those count just as
yeah,
much.
they
And even the
absolutely do.
dolls, you know.
Yeah, and
You do have the Palpy over
we
there.
we have the Palps. We do have the Palps. We have 2 Palps right there. Yeah, if you guys ever came, you guys know we have some stuff here. We have
Yes,
some
and
cool
you
stuff
hooked me
here.
up with a really cool King Witch
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That
So,
was really when I
yes.
saw that I was like, oh my god, I gotta have that.
yeah, that's when we had the toy drive. We had some stuff left over, so like I do have some friends who are diehard geeks, so I made sure that they got hooked up too. Yeah, because we
I
did
saw
have a lot of
that and I
stuff.
was like, oh my gosh, I have got to have that for my Star Wars collection.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean my Lord of the Ring collection.
So I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I'm glad I could
Help
have
me
helped.
out with
Yeah.
my addiction.
But I'm definitely becoming a comic book collector. Like I really see that happening, and just a collector of books. I was a huge reader, and I kind of fell off of reading, but I'm trying to get back into it. Like
You
big
learn a
time.
lot when you read from
Absolutely.
even the books, the Star Wars books. You know, my husband, like I said, he started off with Obi-Wan, and he has just gone on to all of. I mean, he's
a reader.
He's a
yeah,
reader.
I remember you telling
He's
me that.
now at like 60 books. He's
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's reading Hard Contact right now.
Okay.
You know, so he's on to the clone. He's finished quite a few of the Clone Wars books and really, really enjoys it.
And
He's-
enjoy. Yeah. Sometimes reading it just does it for people. They can
Yeah.
paint the picture in their head and just got to read it. Of course, like I spoiled myself by just watching everything, but I'm trying to get back in. My imagination as a kid was insane, so I'm trying to just refuel that by
And I
just
can
reading a lot
see-
more books.
I can see that in the kind of music that you put out. You know, you're the way you do it is very thoughtful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there's
You know,
definitely
it's
a lot
just
of
it's just not put together rhymes. This
Yeah.
is very thoughtful.
yeah, and I do get that as far as like the description in my music.
Yeah.
Like people like the description, how like I kind of like spread everything out and like it's really described and they could see the picture too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're painting a really
ba-
good picture of what you're trying
Yes.
to convey to people.
So I just want to shout out my 5th grade teacher, Miss Showman, who told me
Yeah.
who told me I was gonna be a great writer. She told me that.
Oh my gosh.
She did. Miss Showman.
And
so.
that's a great teacher when someone does that for a kid. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you open the world of
Oh, yeah.
education
When
to
she
people.
told me that, I was like, a writer, really? Like, okay.
I can so see that. I could totally get behind that.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you, Miss Showman. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the show today about our top 10 favorite toys
And our top 50,
and our top 50
which
of
is no joke.
yeah, I mean not our favorite toys, but the popular toys.
The
So-
consensus.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it was great to do that. Like I said, next week I will be at Star Wars. I will be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Woo!
And yes, trying to get stuff out. I'm going to try and do some videos on my phone and put it up on the page
Absolutely.
as well. Because
Absolutely.
my daughter was showing me how to do it. She goes, Mom, you can't have the phone straight up and down. You have to have it sideways.
Sideways.
Yeah, in order to do that. Because I was doing a little bit at the
Anime Expo.
at the Anime Expo, and she goes, "Well, I'm glad you didn't put it up. You didn't post it because I was just trying to see if my phone could do it, so I could see that
You
it
were
can."
beta testing. It's okay.
Yes, exactly. So she goes, "This is all wrong. Don't do it that way." Well, that's all for now, folks. We will see you next week. We're going to be doing a show on Monday, and so I'll try and figure out what would you like to do? What would you like to talk about, Aaron?
As far as Star Wars goes, I would say maybe our top 10. Well, we did fighting scenes. Did we do fighting scenes? We did.
No,
We didn't do fighting
we've
scenes.
never done
Hey,
fighting
fighting scenes. Fighting scenes.
Fighting scenes, I could get behind that.
Yeah, fighting scenes. I'm good with fighting scenes. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, you're wonderful.
Why, thank you.
So our top 10 favorite fighting
scenes.
scenes.
Yes. Yes.
So from all of us here at
Radio Geonosis.
Yes, we'll see you next week. Please follow us on Facebook, on Castbox, on iTunes,
And on Instagram.
YouTube, and
On
Instagram.
Yes, please,
So
please
thank you
follow
so
us,
much,
guys.
folks. We'll see you next time.
Later, guys.